The Bunyip of Berkeley's Creek. It's brilliant. It came out in 1971, and 1973. I came out in 1971. This came out in 1973, and when I was a kid, I loved it, and I still love it, and my children love it. It's brilliant. The illustrations are absolutely fab, and the story is thought-provoking, moving, deeply thought-provoking, and quite moving and poignant at times. It's about a bunyip, a creature of Aboriginal kind of folklore, creation myths, and his quest to find out who he is. The story starts on a dark night, and the bunyip coming up out of the mud saying, "What am I? What am I? What am I?" And the rest of the story, for the most part, is the bunyip trying to find out who he is. He goes and asks different creatures, the platypus, there we go, here he is asking the platypus, a wallaby, and an emu, and all of them have rather disparaging answers. Eventually, he stumbles across a scientific laboratory, look at that, and in there is a scientist. I loved this picture when I was a kid. The scientist poring over his notebook, whilst in the background there are close-ups of the bunyips. And this is perhaps the most heartbreaking part of the book, because the scientist refuses to even acknowledge the bunyip and says quite simply, bunyips don't look like anything, because bunyips don't exist, even though he's lying right here. I just couldn't comprehend that when I was a child. So the bunyip keeps going on his quest. I'm not going to say what happens at the end, but it's very satisfying and heartwarming. There's all sorts of references to Australian culture in this, obviously with the animals that the bunyip talks to. This is a kind of a parody of the Australian coat of arms. Normally you'd have little kind of flags and shields here in between the wallaby and the emu, but here we have the bunyip. But it's also about how we understand who we are. The bunyip is asking all different animals who he is, and they, like I said, they give these rather uncomplimentary answers, or with the humour, says it doesn't even exist. And it's not until the end, when the bunyip meets another bunyip, that they start to work out who they are and who they could be. So lots of really interesting ideas about how we get to know who we are as people. Maybe potentially quite problematic in the sense that the bunyip needs the other bunyip, the other person like him, to find out who he is. And whether or not that's entirely true, whether or not we can only find out who we are through people who are like us, it's slightly problematic potentially. I don't know exactly what Jenny Wagner was thinking of, but perhaps it wasn't that message that she was trying to convey. Who knows? It's a lovely book. You can just read it at face value and it's brilliant, or you can spend ages going through, looking at all the clues and references to Australian culture, the billabong and the boiling tea like in Waltzing Matilda and so forth. Do get it. It's kind of tricky to get hold of nowadays. I'm not certain it's still in print, but if you go on the internet and have a quick look, you should be able to pick it up pretty easily. If you do read it and you like it, have a look at these. The Story of Ferdinand, a lovely book. It's brilliant, all about being at peace with yourself. You could try John Burningham's Borka, again about kind of learning to sort of accept who you are. Beautiful. Or if you want another Jenny Wagner and Ron Brooks book, you can go for John Brown, Rose and the Midnight Cat, another thought-provoking and beautifully illustrated book. Enjoy.